Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free Interior Alaska, where we explore life off-grid in remote Alaska, sharing our experiences either building in a challenging environment, hunting, fishing, trapping, and family time, just to name a few, and so many more adventures. What are we waiting for? Let's go! Hello, summer. Finally, after what feels like the longest hiatus from being able to make it out to our cabin from winter to summer, it's finally summer in the interior. But as you can see, there is still snow. So we'll see what we are going to be up against on this adventure out to our cabin for the first time this summer, and hopefully the snow doesn't give us too much trouble. Let's see what happens. It's June 13th today, and we are finally back out here. This is the longest it has been since we have been able to get to our cabin. Typically, we are out here between May 31st and like June 5th. However, when we had somebody come out here and check the trail at that time period, there was still several feet of snow. Like, was not going to be passable at all. Not good snow for a snow machine either. So because of that, we had to wait. And then my husband was on call last weekend due to his job, but a few people with cabins out here did come out and reported back that the section in the valley was still completely snow, very thick, but they come out in ATVs, so they were able to go over the bank off of the trail and kind of beat through the trees and the tundra to go around where it was thick snow and get up, but they only are going up to a cabin up there. So we're hopeful that that will have melted through there, but you can't see that because it kind of, the trail goes and it kind of drops back down. So we're gonna scout it out before we get there using the drone in theory. But as you can tell, there is still quite a bit of snow out here. Like I said, it's June 13th. This is the latest. Definitely got some mud holes. You can see it shining up there. That's pretty standard. We'll see how thick it is and how long. Try to stay on the trail as much as possible, especially in the 4Runner. We don't want to do any damage to our trail. He's airing the tires down so that we can hop in and try to make it. The 4Runner is nice because we don't have to load and unload anything in the cold like we do with the snow machines. We just have to air it down, which can be a pretty quick process. At times when the trail gets fine, we don't even really need to do that. So it's nice because you can just kind of continue on. However, it is a long, slow journey in this because it's so rocky, so we go pretty slow. I got quite a few totes of stuff in there to haul out, and we've got a new barrel, and I also have 4 cinder blocks in the back that we will be marking where we plan on building our shed here throughout the summer. It's going to be a shed, workshop, shower, bunkhouse. So those will be utilized in the foundation, and they will be marking it. So hopefully that's not way too much weight back there, but we can always offload them and come back if we find ourselves in some deep stuff and needing to shed some weight. Not really sure what we're up against, but we are very anxious and eager to get back out here because it has been so incredibly long. Thanks for sticking with us and following us through all of that because obviously I didn't have anything to show you as of recently coming out here because we haven't been able to be out here, but that is just how it goes when you have to wait for the seasons to change. So hopefully we are back and we'll be out here quite a lot. We do have some vacation time planned that won't be spent out here. We'll be traveling through other areas of Alaska, and my husband's on call at least a few times a month, it seems, every month. So our time's a little bit limited, but we've got a lot planned out here and a lot to accomplish. So we'll get right to it. I told him he needs to clean his window so that I can yes, record out there so you can see. It's pretty fancy. Allow me to do my sides. So it's way better than we thought, but it is still pretty deep and slushy. As you can tell, it's just like hitting a wall of snow. Everybody else seems to have come up and made a little trail here, but in the Forerunner, it might be a little more difficult. I don't know what his plan is. What's your plan?
Full send.
You might want to knock down that side more then. Could probably get up here. Might be a little interesting.
Yeah, we probably could. Might try this one more time, and if not, go up there.
Okay. That's a little deep.
Yeah.
So, still a few feet of snow right here, coming out of this first valley. Not enough momentum. Also, keep in mind that I have 4 cylinder blocks, 2 very full totes, water, you name it. A lot of weight. In the back of that. And there's not really a spot for a run and start. So close. You're close. Damn it. Ooh. Ah, so close. perseverance. This guy not wanting to give up. We're just letting her cool for a bit. Snow packed in there is helping. It's pretty deep, and then it's like quicksand, clay, mud stuff, like not nice. And there was like our October, if you've been here with us, where it just turns into like slush and mud that just kind of like becomes this little slippery slope. And yeah, I thought we should pull out traction boards. He thought we should just keep going. I guess he was right. Of course, you know, stop and let them play in the snow as if they haven't seen it for several months. But since it's probably, what would you say, 80 out here? We're 75. So we have a heat wave all of a sudden this week after not even really breaking 50 degrees. And now we're supposed to be like 89, I think, something like that on Sunday. So very quickly, we have suddenly got very warm. Like summer was not here, and now summer has shown up. And these boys had to find themselves a little bit of winter.
I don't know if you posted the video of me climbing the mountain.
Yes. This is the one that he went up and was sliding down. If you saw it probably about a month and a half ago, he went up there, and then you went to the next little, yeah. So this we can see from our cabin. We look way out yonder. It's part of it, and there's a few more peaks, and you went up it. We're almost to the cabin. Things are going smoothly, and then we heard a big loud snap. If you remember, we had 2 5-gallon water jugs there. Well, we've run into this issue before with these cheap racks, and we've replaced it already before. We take it off when we're hauling wood after learning lessons. However, this one just cracked and gave out already. So just padding that, not that we really care. There's already dents from prior times when that's collapsed hauling.
Yeah, it's time to buy a real off-roading.
Yeah, so
rails just not weighing too much. So.
No, they're definitely not. And I mean, yeah, it was a lot of weight in one spot, but it still didn't seem.
Yeah, but when you get the bumps.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's because it can't really flex too much with all the bumps that we're hitting. But if you want to like, share, comment on this video, especially share it, tell all your friends so we can maybe actually buy this with 12 cents.
$1,000.
Oh, okay, just kidding. All right, never mind. But yeah, and shipping to Alaska. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I tried. Inside looks great. Everything looks good in here.
These are dead flies.
Except these are all dead flies. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say the mosquitoes are definitely out here. I guess they didn't make it out when they came back to life. That's interesting. Our floor did have a bubble. Wonder what's up with that. Perks of it being summer, we can set up our water that you saw us hook up, and anything that's extra can just stay in there. So that's why I tried to bring out 2 water cans, because we can utilize more water and leave it here for the next trip and just build up our accumulation. So once he fills that bowl, we're then going to pour it into the bucket down there.
The left one, right?
Yep, left, without spilling too much. And we'll go. Should be deep enough.
It's hooked up to the left or the right. There we go.
Yeah. There you go. Now we have water. Yay! We made a list of everything that we needed to accomplish once we got out here and assessed. And as you saw, tightening these is one of them. And he wasted no time and he got right to it. And he did this one and the far one. The middle one's gonna prove a little challenging. So there's not really any room left to adjust it. I was gonna say, I feel like you might be going the wrong way. It's looking looser and looser. We found it odd that these were loose because that would mean that the cabin was moving backwards, which doesn't really seem possible considering we were trying to keep it from sliding forwards and settling in a place we don't want it to settle. And then we thought maybe it was the snow falling off of the roof and just all the snow compacting it, and that's why these got a little bit looser. But what we've realized is that we believe, like anything out here in the permafrost, like if we were to use concrete pads, which a lot of people have asked about when we were building this foundation, is that the permafrost or the earth is actually just pushing those duckbill anchors up out of the tundra, and that's why they're getting looser. Now these are a little over 3 feet into the ground. However, they are still rising closer and closer to the surface, it seems. So we have tightened them, and I have a feeling we will continue to tighten them until the tundra decides to settle where they should be, and then maybe they will continue to hold it. But the good news is I don't think the cabin's shifting as much, but we'll still have to look at our leveling situation some other time. Whoa. You sure you got it right? Because now I'm the opposite, I guess.
It all depends on what way this was facing.
That's tight. We'll try to get what we can touch it. You don't think it'll take up any?
Oh yeah, I mean it'll take up a tiny little bit that there's left in there, but not enough to.
So should we have done that one further out?
Yes, that's correct. There is a different solution.
Moving that up higher?
No,
Oh, what?
cutting those.
These?
Yeah.
We have a smaller one. I don't know if it'll fit with this D-ring.
Well, I'm saying
Oh.
you cut this bolt here and that bolt there, so then you can. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no, you're gonna bottom these threads out, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the right answer is to dig that up and move it farther back.
Well, I don't like the right answer right now.
No, me either.
See, I feel like that should have been the case with those other ones. You notice how, like, I could actually.
Well, you got the cable extender, so super loose to begin with.
Yeah. Which would still mean that it shifted back.
I don't know that the cabin shifted back. I think maybe these shifted forward.
Maybe. Then are they really doing?
They're not hurting.
They make us feel better. It's like a Band-Aid. Sometimes it doesn't really help your cut, but it makes you feel better. What was really peculiar is that these inside cables were also slightly loose. Perhaps things shifted back in place? I'm not really sure, but we didn't have any issues with our door that we got fitting perfect, which we have routinely had issues with between the summer and winter freezing and thawing. But these cables did need some adjustment. So we got to work on all of those. This one, before we can tighten it, we need to loosen these little, I don't know what you call those things. They had a name.
I'm sure they do.
That holds
I don't know what it is.
the wire in place. So we need to loosen those first and take some tension off by, or like make more tension, I guess I should say, by tightening the wire first, because we don't have a lot of room to work with our whatever.
That was a very long way to say we ran out of adjustment in here, so we need to pull more out.
Yeah, and apparently my brain is escaping all of these things and their names, but you get the gist of what we're doing. Yeah, we ran out of ability to tighten it, so we need to make that shorter so then we can tighten it. These weren't too bad, right?
No.
These are pretty mild.
Doesn't help some asshole put lights on up in this thing.
Who did that? It was me. Do you like lights in winter? Yes.
And this thing.
And anything else that you'd like to add?
That's it for now.
Okay. Woo! That is sharp as I thought.
Alright.
You gave it plenty of.
All of it.
All of it, eh? Smart. Alright. Just think, my dad did all these by himself.
Yeah.
We're using all of our hands right now. He's the man. Well, we decided where we are going to put our shed, which is going to be 16 by 12 lean-to style. It's going to be a workshop, as well as a indoor shower, and it'll be heated with a wood stove, and some guest beds. Problem is, we cleared this land and other things, ended up with a lot of brush here, so now we get to move all the brush again, slowly but surely. So we'll start clearing this area, and I think this is where it'll go. There's a big stump. They cut them pretty low. Hope for the best. See what it looks like once we start clearing it out. Eventually we want to build another guest cabin. Probably put it right here in that area. But that's a long ways down the road. Progress clearing. We will take little bundles of these piles of sticks and limbs and alders down to our bonfire, which is going to be an outrageous pile for next Christmas. We load them up on a tarp, and then we carry it down to our pile. My oldest son helped me begin clearing. It's progress so far, but I need to take a break because it's super hot. This morning the thermometer in the sun said it was 130. It's definitely like, I don't know, probably 80 out here. But it's looking much better. Still gotta get the chainsaw and get some of these big guys smaller, clean up the stumps. Still gotta move some of that, take down some trees, continue on these alders. They are tedious because it is cutting all of these one by one with the loppers. So it takes a little while, and then still gotta clean it all up after, but getting the bulk of it out of here is a start. Probably clear back here as well. It's a lot of work. But then I think about it, and we had to do all of that around all of our property. Little by little, when we were building this, we were just spending a day doing exactly this. Just don't hit the shower. After moving a few more piles of brush over to our bonfire for winter, we decided that that pile was already more than large enough. So we started grabbing armfuls and moving them much further to the side. The idea is that they will be far enough out of the way and not where we intend to build, so we don't have to keep moving them again and again, so that they are a dead pile to the further side of our clearing where anything will be built. In case of a fire, it will just be a little timber box over there and not near our structures. But of course, we have a lot of place for all of the fire to run anyways, but hopefully that will help keep it a little bit further away with this clearing that we are doing as well. The bad part is all of that pile in the very beginning that I showed you that was down wood that I mentioned my son and I would need to move, we moved them into this pile from the left side of the screen into this pile, and now we're moving them all the way back further over the left side. So unfortunately, we moved them over here to just move them back and further again instead of just picking them up and moving them. But at the time, we didn't realize just how much we would end up with when this isn't even completely cleared yet, and that we needed to start a new pile much further out of the way so that hopefully we don't have to move it again and again and again. That's always the trouble here, is figuring out where to put it and what to do with it, because there's so much once you start clearing all of these out. Not done, but a lot of progress was made. Took down several trees. We will trim them up shorter and cleaned up all the limbs from that. Cleaned up a lot of alders, still a lot more to go, which is very tedious with the loppers. But hopefully, with all this space, once I get it cleaned up, we will have a decent clearing for the shed. So, it's a work in progress. It's an honest day's work. Probably been at it for about 5.5 hours. So, time to go eat dinner. The youngest is cooking up some sausages. So, looking forward to eating soon. As a result, this is a lot of our firewood that we deemed worthy of turning into some firewood. So, clearing the land, getting firewood, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It's not like it's gonna go to waste. So, just more work ahead of us. If only we were out here all the time, we could just do a few hours a day. Man, we would be in good shape. It wouldn't be so bad when you're trying to fit it in just a day and a half of work, but it is what it is. Man, these alders will be a lot of work, but just gotta keep going, one at a time. It's not all hard work that we do out here. We do always try our best to fit in some fun amongst our long list of things to accomplish in such a short period of time. We're hopeful at some point we'll be able to do more fun than work, but I doubt that's anytime soon. There's always something to work on. I'm not sure too many people play on top of some ridges for baseball, but we try to make some pretty cool experiences for our kids.
Thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and subscribe and follow for our next adventures on Wild and Free
Interior Alaska.